Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to Hall H at this year's V52 Expo. We're going to be discussing all the film, TV shows, games, and more from phases 7 to 19. And joining me to digest it all, guys, they are the warmest and deepest people I know. It's Bolu and Chiagoziem.
Hi, howdies.
What's good, gang?
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. Well, I think I'm doing good. How are you doing?
No, it's good. I'm happy that you think you're doing good. That's good. Male mental health is good for you to think that you're doing good. I like that.
True.
I like that for you.
Yeah, I'm alright. Vibing and surviving.
That's not. He said he's
Usual.
doing good, and you just came with "I'm all right." Like, can we?
No, but I'm actually alright.
Yeah, but you
I
lie.
feel like saying
This
I'm
is for
good
the
is
internet.
strong, which is why I'm
No,
saying.
but it's for
Oh,
the
I should
internet. So
say.
you lie.
Okay, sorry. Hi, guys. I'm feeling so fantastic. Like, my life is so awesome and so perfect. I cannot believe it.
Okay.
Like, you wish you could. Like, I
I mean,
am
your words say
kidding.
one thing,
But
but then your tone says something else.
oh my God, guys, my life is so
This is what
amazing.
we're asking.
That's so good.
Wow.
That's so good. I believe it. You are happy. That's so good. I'm happy for you, guys. It's a very intense time on the podcast. So, if you're listening to this, please check out our pods on House of the Dragon. Season 2 has started. Bridgerton, part 2, that's out. The Bear comes out today, and our episodes will be out
Madam.
over the next week. Is the Cinemas done Inside Out 2? So, yeah, just check everything out. But
Mm.
right now, we're going to talk about The Boys, Season 4, Episode 5. Beware the Jabberwock, My Son, written by Judana Naira and directed by Shayna Stein. So quickly, just before we get into you guys' thoughts, that line, I was like, oh, I know this line. I couldn't remember where it was from. So I Googled it and it's from Lewis Carroll's poem in Through the Looking Glass, which is a sequel to Alice in Wonderland. And the follow-up line, or rather the full line is, beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bites, the claws that catch. And it's like, that stanza is about his son, a father warning his son about basically some beasts that are coming and everything. So I think in my head it was like them trying to combine the Hughie plot with basically everything that's happening at the farm. It was just like, I guess, a little Easter egg there for people who've read Alice in Wonderland. Okay, so Bolu, I know you don't care about characters' emotional turmoil unless it applies to Homelander. So I'm sure you loved this episode of the boys that talked about French's emotions and Hughie's emotions and Starlight's emotions. What are your general thoughts on this episode?
Um, it was a character development episode, which I don't mind, to be fair. Like I mentioned before, this um, I felt this relationship in general with Frenchie was a big. I always felt like when things that do happen in life like that, to be fair, but it
Mm-hmm.
just felt a little contrary for me. But I felt like we could have done without it. That's just me. And it's not about, because I know people are being like homophobic and
I was gonna
annoying.
say this.
That's
I
it.
was
That's one of the most frustrating things of like when you're critiquing
criticizing.
media, when
Yeah,
you end up on the same side of people you really don't like. Like I don't like some of the new Star Wars movies, but like the haters of the Star Wars movies gets on my nerves. So I tend to be very muted about my criticism
yeah,
about
yeah.
what I don't enjoy about it. So it's like,
So you're
okay,
criticizing the friendship plot, but
yeah,
then
I
everybody
just
around is being
really
homophobic. And
weird
you're like,
about it. I'm just like,
that's
no,
not what I meant. Yeah,
I just feel like this is like contract. Not that I've known Hughie with biases. Like I thought
I'm
I was
surprised
like,
this is a thing that
yeah,
people are like. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? If any character is going to be, it's him. It seems so obvious. Like, what's
yeah.
going on here?
So that was like where I was with. I was like, oh well, Hughie beating himself. Sorry, friendship beating himself. Hughie was kind of tragic,
Mm-hmm.
really tragic actually. He actually wanted to do the right thing and then it backfired. And
Yeah,
that's just life. Just an extra sad because it's fun Easter egg. The design of Huey, Simon, Huey's dad,
mm-hmm.
Simon Pegg in the
Like,
show,
yeah,
is actually like the original character design of what inspired the actual Huey in the comic.
yeah.
So it was a bit of an Easter egg because Simon Pegg was obviously way too old to be Huey in the TV show and the
I think
show.
he voices Huey you know, the animated diabolical spin-offs that they
Oh,
did. I think he
okay,
voiced
fair.
Huey in that.
Maybe that's like a nod to
Yeah,
because
it's definitely
yeah,
definitely
if you
not.
see the comic, you know one to one. Oh, that's Simon Pegg, or
Hmm.
that design was 100% inspired by Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
So, Starlight, Starlight, okay.
we'll get. Don't worry, we'll get into each state. Chiagoziem, and what are your general thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, some things occurred. You know me as a fan of gore. I
Ugh.
was deeply satisfied with Huey's dad and his various
Oh, I
encounters
thought you
with
were going to talk about the sheep, but
living,
yeah,
yeah,
that
with
that's
living
true.
human beings. And then also when we got into the zombie sheep, yeah, I just love gore. It was very visually satisfying for me, so I had a good time.
Um, So yeah, I mean, this is basically a setup episode, isn't it? It's a character development episode where you're setting up the characters for the final three episodes. We need to get certain characters, Butcher, Huey, French, in a position where Homelander, where it makes sense for the final three. I want to just quickly start with Huey because it's the most independent of all the storylines. Um, I watched this episode for the first time on Father's Day, so that was a choice. Maybe I wish I didn't make. Uh, But yeah, I mean, the summary quickly is that Huey decides not to give his dad V, um, but his mom gives it, not really knowing the impact, and then his dad starts losing his mind and killing people, and then Huey has to kill him. And I think obviously the idea here is this happened way quicker than I thought. I thought like
No
the
trying for
V
the
side
last
effect
place.
would be later in this season. I didn't actually think it was going to happen this episode. But yeah, I mean, I guess the idea is following that story about their cat. It's like Huey finding the courage to let go and everything. And I wonder if that's going to play a part in something towards the end of the season. Like it to be a choice to just have like this big plot happen just for this episode. If that makes sense, like is there something that Huey's going to have to quote unquote let go later in the season? Just maybe this is building him up for that kind of strength. What did you guys think about in depth about this plot line and Zombie Simon? I thought Simon Pegg was great this episode actually. I've never
Mhm.
really maybe it's the accent. I've never really bought him in this show. Like I've never really cared for his performance in this show, but I thought he was quite good this episode actually.
Oh,
Yeah, you could really see the disorientation that he was
Hmm.
portraying, and also a bit of fear when he like came to and realized what he had been doing, and then the anger at his Huey's mom.
Hmm.
So I think, yeah, it was really good acting from him. I really bought into the fact that he was very discombobulated and trying to find his bearings. Yeah.
yeah, it was really sad just to watch him like break down because seeing like the bumbling, generally the relatively nice guy of the show, like or
Hmm.
the when he used to appear like, oh well, this is one of the sane untouched people of the world of like Compound V and boys somewhat, and then like who said, Vault Compound V touches something and everything just goes to shit.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't really blame his mom. She just thought like it was going to help, and that's what he wanted. Initially, I was a
Yeah.
little like weirded out, not by what she did. I was like, is there going to be like some contrived plot with her?
Hmm. Like some evil plan. Yeah, and I get what you mean.
Yeah,
I get what you mean.
it was weird. I don't know how the scene was shot. I don't know,
It was
like
her facial reaction, but I think that's
kind
intentional. It's meant to be like a quote unquote cliffhanger.
yeah, but then
Yeah.
it played down as like, oh no, it's not that. It's she's because I was ready to get really angry if she was some sort of secret double agent or something.
Yeah, I get what you
I,
mean.
I was not in the mood for that. Like, uh, I would genuinely like that. It will become my least favorite season of the show automatically if that happened. I was going to lose it,
Okay, well, thank
but
God it did happen now. Jesus.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because I've been a bit more on the fence for this season, but
Hmm.
overall it was a good episode. It got things moving again, but then almost every episode of the boys moves pretty fast.
Hmm.
A lot happens, and
This is a slow episode for the boys, and but like as well, we're gonna have an hour discussion on it. Like things still happen. It's just in the boys' context. This is quote unquote. This is their version of a filler episode, right? It's to build
Hmm.
the emotional depth of the characters. Um, Chiagoziem, any thoughts on Hughie, his dad, his mom?
No, just sad. Sad for them. I thought his mom was going to die for sure.
Oh, that have,
Um,
yeah, that have been a
yeah,
lot.
that was
Jesus.
that was something I had written down. This mom gonna die for sure. But she lives, so
Well,
good
yeah,
for
he
her.
needs to have at least one parent. Um, over on the farm. So
Yes.
on last week's episode, look at how you've perked. Look at how your face. Oh my god.
Because
We need to check you out. We need to have something to
I
have
need
you
a psych
checked.
evaluation. Yeah.
But on that note, last week you mentioned that what you want for the rest of the season is to see, quote unquote, see things I've never seen before. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Did
I
you?
think I mean I
Are you
did.
satisfied?
Maybe not necessarily with the sheep cuz I mean whatever. But for me really because at first I didn't really get Huey's dad's power. I was trying to understand like what was happening with him.
it's
And then
kind
when
of
I
Hmm.
similar
fully
to who
clocked,
is.
huh?
It's kind
Oh,
of
like
like
similar
Hughie's
to
Yeah, it
Huey's.
power,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, it was a bit similar. Like obviously, it's not the exact same thing, but I guess that was intentional because
Like
they're
phasing,
having yeah,
Yeah.
teleportation, but like yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, because he was vibrating at first, I was like, interesting. But when he like ended up in that guy that was in hospital bed, I was just
the
like,
nice guy. He just
Mm.
huh?
walked through him. No, the guy he claims is a nice guy right before he dies.
Oh,
To
yeah, and he was
to the
just kind of
nurse.
was like kind of just like looking around within his guts. I was like, wow, this is a visual I never thought I'd see in my life. But no, it was good. And then the sheep, the animals, a lot a lot happened actually. Because first
Hmm.
of all,
Yeah.
they released our homeboy. Of course, have to love Butcher. He was like to homeboy because his name has escaped my mind, but I'm sure we all
Her
know
name?
Homeboy.
Well,
Huh?
Giancarlo's character,
Yeah.
Oh, Stan Edgar.
Sanelka, yeah,
The boss of
Yeah.
the boss of what?
So Butcher was like, because they were trying to convince him to, help them find XYZ.
yeah.
He was like, would you rather finger some fucking clay or walk the fuck out of here? It's a valid question
Just
to ask. And
yeah.
he
Uh,
decided to
Butcher has
walk
the
out of
right
there.
questions.
Yeah.
Butcher's way of words is unmatched. But let's talk about Butcher because
Okay.
he's been good all season, as we mentioned before. Like by his standards, he's not done
Mm.
anything. I think he's like, I'm about to die. I'm trying to not piss off any more people. He's trying to not betray the
Yeah.
boys. Again, this is by Butcher standards, right? And
Mm.
I think this episode needed to him to get to the bottom so that he realizes that no one around me is willing to do what he believes is necessary. So he has to like fully align with Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character, who I don't think
Mm.
we have his name yet. Um,
It, it's a very strange situation. With it feels almost like his wife is the angel
mm,
on his shoulder, and then this
Mm.
Jeffrey Dean is the devil on his shoulder. Which I'm like, are they trying to tell us something there? I don't know. I don't
tell us
know.
like what?
I don't know because when I started noticing the parallel, I went to watch back a few episodes. Like, had I noticed anyone really like interact with this dude? But like, I need to watch it again because
Oh, I get what
that's
you
kind of like
mean.
where I'm going. I'm like,
Oh,
are they
like if it's
trying
in his
to?
mind.
Yeah,
Like,
because yeah, as we are quite aware, Butcher's mind is messed up. Let me keep it PG. With like we literally
why are
see
you
what
guys trying to keep this episode PG? Like, this is not it's not the show to keep
I'm
PG.
just trying to match the energy now, match the
That's
fridge.
fair.
For
That's
God's
fair. But
sake.
no, I get what you're saying. That's actually a good show. I don't think we've not seen him interact with anybody.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's a good shout. That I'll go straight into conspiracy corner.
And it got there really quick, but I'm like, it's possible though. But
Hmm.
yeah, we'll see though.
And no, you're right because a lot of the frame. Because in my head, I had that butcher smile at the end as I don't know how to put it, but like that's his signifier. That's like I am. That's his Joker laugh. That's like I am. I'm gone. I'm fully in the dark side here. Nothing is like when Butcher smiles at Jeffrey D. Morgan's character that way is like so. Yeah, it would make sense if this is just the devil on his shoulder and he's not actually a real person. I mean, you're right. 5 episodes, nobody else has interacted with him. So I guess we will see. But that goes into conspiracy corner straight away.
Mm.
The hamster that Billy lets go releases.
Released.
has
Mm-hmm.
been injected with temp V, not normal V. And then we see that thing come out of him, its body in the woods.
Oh, with the
Could that be
Yeah.
what is growing inside Butcher?
oh.
Honestly, because the butcher bailout, I'm like, it clearly has something to do with. I suspect like is the this thing in his V taking over, which is why also I'm a bit suspicious of the Jeffrey D. Morgan character. But I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't know. It might feel like me grasping at straws and stuff like that. I don't know, but
No,
it's
no,
a
because so two things. Because the Jeffrey D. Morgan thing, I really like it, and I'm gonna just keep on looking at it because my head, I was thinking, I was like, this looks like the exact guy that made Butcher who Butcher is. If that makes sense. Like I was like, I could see how maybe Butcher studying this guy made him who he is because like he's just as vulgar. He thinks the same way. So maybe he's even a real person. Following your theory, he's a real person that
yeah.
died or whatever. But it's like it makes sense if he is from his mind because he just feels too alike with Butcher. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting that hamster was they showed us it was Tem V and not actual V, and it felt like the thing inside him was reaching for Butcher, maybe kind of like a how do I put this like a Venom symbiote kind of thing, where it was like
Mm.
it felt a
Kinship.
Kinship with the
kinship
thing
with
in him.
whatever is in Butcher exactly, and it would make sense if that was the thing that maybe came out of Butcher, killed Ezekiel, and then went back.
Ah.
So I don't
Uh,
know. You say, like this show
I'm kind of
hasn't
tired
done.
of the extraness, man. I just need. Well, that's the boys, though. To be
Yeah,
fair,
it's like
that's what I signed up
um,
for. But sometimes I'm just
no, I
like,
mean, yeah, because like, look, the Huey thing. Just to rewind a bit, the Huey plotline
Mm-hmm.
essentially is how do we get Huey to be comfortable letting go, right? How do you how do we give him the chance to actually say goodbye to his dad, right? To the one person that's been in his life for this constant. That is the plot line. And somebody could take that and write it in a way that is very heartwarming and very touching and like it does things. And like I've but the boys version of that is that oh, we bring his dad back to life. His dad kills a few people and then Huey has to put him down. Like that is the boys version is always gonna be a little bit extra. But the point essentially is like how do we get him to be able to say goodbye to someone that is dying and make him comfortable enough to let go of things in the future. So yeah, the boys will always like have a disgusting route to the same end goal. But yeah, the butcher thing, I was just thinking about that. Obviously, the end of the episode ends with us seeing that like this he's fully gone now. He's done trying to be a member of the boys or like do things. I think the biggest example was when they said there's one vial of the virus left, and then immediately MM is like, let's use it to kill the sheep. Like MM is like, how do we save us here? But Butcher is like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I want to find a way to kill the soups. And it's like that's the clearest example of how different their attitudes are. Um, we can just do this quickly. We've kind of discussed Frenchie, but Frenchie is his guilt is so much that he's handing himself over to the police. Chuck, has any thoughts
Mm.
on Frenchie?
I was gonna say, talking about the sheep scene,
Okay, yeah.
he was like this when they were trying to figure out like what to do with the bee, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was like,
The
"This man is in
virus.
no condition to fuck a sheep," and I was just like, "Frenchie."
That was my favorite line. That was a part of my
I
Frenchie
Frenchie
was
was
is
like,
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 "Frenchie,"
he was like, I can't believe this is happening to me again. Kimiko was like,
"Alright,
what
what do
life
you
have you
mean,
lived?
bro?"
yeah, and the guy was like, "They would obviously just eat the sheep," and Frenchie
So
was like, "Oh,
yeah, I mean, on that note, quickly, also something I've noticed this season is that a lot of people are telling people how bad the boys are at their jobs. Like Newman said it in the first episode. Edgar said it a couple of times. I think Homelander said it. Jeffrey D. Morgan's character, like they keep on saying, like you guys know you are bad at your job, like you're not good at. And I think I don't know, that might just be a coincidence, but it feels like they might be emphasizing something that these guys are not good. But yeah, Edgar looks at him like that's obviously not the plan.
he's
This guy
like, be
is
for
uh,
real."
very.
Frenchie, I liked
Yeah,
his
but
Christianity monologue because it really shows just where his head is at. It
mm,
shows like this is a man that I mean, obviously I'm not gonna ask Bolu his thoughts because Bolu has made his thoughts clear.
I'm
But
screaming.
but
Yeah,
yeah, this
but
is a
no,
man that
Frenchie.
doesn't believe he deserves forgiveness.
Yeah, I mean that's sad.
You should embrace butcherism.
I'm screaming.
This is his version of butcherism, though, is because he
Yeah.
is to be punished. Butcher thinks he deserves to be punished, but his own punishment is different. His punishment was living with Becca in his memory, or
Mm.
going out drinking and drugs. French's punishment is drinking and drugs as well, but maybe prison. Yeah, and Annie is having projectile dysfunction. She also has a mental block because she's, I think her, I mean, yeah, her beating, what's her name, Firecracker, is probably kind of like
Cracker, cracker.
disoriented her. She doesn't really know
But
who
hasn't
is
that
who.
been an issue all season with her like trying to use her
No,
blast?
no, I think she was getting better. She was
I think it
learning
was
how to
recent.
do more.
Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah,
now
that's
she
true.
can
Yeah,
fly
She
she
was
and
turned
pushing
stuff.
herself.
herself. Now she can't even do anything. She can't light a candle the way she is right now. So,
I
Yeah.
thought it was from when they first got into, was it the lab or something? And
mhm.
her thing didn't work, but then for other people as well, it didn't work like what their powers were. So I
No,
thought
no,
maybe,
no, no. I think I know. I think hers is a mental block because Newman
uh,
looks at her and Newman's like, "Oh, you're not." Because even Butcher
Yeah.
says you can't get it up. I think hers is like something mentally is like,
Double, yeah.
yeah, she's trying to
mm,
figure out who Starlight is, who Annie is, and I think that's like it's like not to take the metaphor to the grave, where it's like if you're too up in your head, then you might not perform. That's exactly what's happening with Annie here, which is like
mm,
she's thinking so much and she's so confused about who she is and everything that is affecting her physical abilities. Um, I want to leave the farm. Any other thing you guys want to say about the farm?
It's nice seeing Stan again.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, Giancarlo is always nice. That
yeah.
the thing. Like, he's one of those
I
things
want to
where
I
he
want
can
to
play
do
this at
more
five
things,
percent.
but
He can play
yeah,
this role at 5% and just still be great. So
it should be fun, yeah, to
yeah.
see.
Okay, we're gonna talk about Homelander, and then after that we'll wrap up with like just I have just a section about all the vote films and things that they announced because I
mm.
think this might be my funniest episode of the season, and some of the jokes here were
Funniest
just
one.
funny. I said some jokes here were just incredible to me. But let's talk about Homelander. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Ryan is being enticed by the dark side
Yep.
in a way where he thinks he can use the dark side for good, but
Quotes and quotes.
Your
yeah. Um, I think it was you, Chagas, when I mentioned last week about how every time Homelander is in a scene, you're afraid for the people in the scene. And the
Yeah.
fear I felt for Adam, not fear, as in like I don't care about him, but like father, I was like, you could die at any second.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Homelander way. Like
Yeah, like my brain was just like, no, they'll keep PJ Byrne because he's funny and they want to keep him for random scenes. But I was like, Homelander could just laser this guy at any second. Like I was like, like there's a point where he was trying to
I
talk
wasn't
back.
that afraid because it was still kind of like people were there.
Yeah, but
That's
in
why
the
I was
room,
like,
when it was just three of them, I was like, huh, like you're trying to debate Homelander, you're trying to talk back. I was like, huh,
I
you're
didn't
not
think he would do
afraid
that.
as you should be.
I don't think that he would do that in front of Ryan.
Ah,
No,
hmm.
and no, no, no. Like the thing is that Ryan still has Homelander still has attachments to Ryan, and he kind of
Yeah, 100%.
recognizes that like Ryan that won't really drive you just killing anyone randomly. So he would like this not say he wouldn't on a normal day, but
Hmm.
he was like
But yeah, I mean,
he
but
tried
there's
to be
that
more
scene.
restrained. I would feel empathy for Homelander, just like trying to chase this connection with Ryan, and like they do, but like you can able to see the like
Disconnect.
yeah
Um,
almost really painful. Like I almost even feel bad for him with like even with like the Soldier Boy thing at times. Like
so on that note, Chiagoziem messaged me when she was watching the episode for the first time. What did you say? In all caps, I would not feel sorry for Homelander.
Oh yeah. I said
What
I
scene made
refused.
you? What scene made you?
Um, what was I even watching? I think maybe when he was he reminiscing on his past? Oh, they did like a montage of
Oh, when
his
he's
when he
like
was
tweaking and you can
having.
see like
Yeah, I was
flashbacks.
just
Yeah.
like, let's keep it stepping. I don't care.
So she
It's
said,
like
I
move it along.
refuse.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's interesting because you see Ryan, ostensibly, he's doing a good thing, right? He's
Mm.
trying to stop the sexual harassment, but his ways are terrible and he's making this woman just absolutely beat the shit out of Adam. And it's like, and the way
Yeah.
he smiles while
Because I started grinning. I
drinking
was
a
just like, oh
yeah, while
no.
drinking a milkshake, or like, oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like this is the son that um what's homeboy's name in Invincible? Omni Man wanted. That's the kind
yeah,
of,
um,
legacy he wanted
yeah.
to.
Oh, that reminds me of Bolu's Father's Day post. Was it from last year? Of
Yeah, that's true.
Omniman and Mark,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Homelander,
yeah, yeah.
Homelander and Ryan.
Mhm.
Dads of the year. Okay, so Homelander.
Mhm.
Um, it's funny again because back to what we were talking about earlier. The extreme right, who are apparently fans of the show. I thought the show had no extreme right. I was like, there's no way you can be watching the show because it's been making fun of you for 4 years,
And
but whatever.
yeah,
They are beginning to feel like, oh, this show is making fun of us. It wasn't like that before. Which, I mean, we're not going to spend time talking about that because, come on. But I bring that up because I think Homelander's plot for this season has always been leading up to this. Because now he is he's corralling his Proud Boys. He's super powered January 6th conspirators, right? We asked last week what would Homelander do now that he thinks he's free of the emotional torture, whatever. And what he's doing is that he believes he doesn't care what people think, so he will rule with an iron fist. Right. It's not a coincidence that in episode one, the president elect said that the election will be confirmed on January 6th. They didn't just use that date randomly. Like, so like Homelander is
Yeah,
now,
yeah. I was like, okay,
yeah, it's
but the
like,
boy has never been subtle
never
again.
been so too. That is the surprising
So
thing about
I
everybody
think
coming
now
out now.
on
They're
the
like,
internet now just hitting on the head. I'm like, well,
yeah, I was like, this show has,
thank you for catching up after how many years?
and I loved it because because we said it and people were like, oh, that's a criticism. I was like, no, it's not. Like Kripke came out and was like, our show has never been subtle. Like, and it's like, sometimes you can be subtle in your satire. Sometimes you can just be like, straight up, this is who we are, and that's what we're talking about. And like,
mhm.
it's so funny how now people are like, oh, this show is being woke. I was like, this show has
It's
never
been
pretended
like that.
to be subtle. Like,
It's
it's
always kind of
always,
like leaned lefty, very left.
yes,
Like it's
and
always leaning
Yeah.
super
been
left.
very upfront about what it said. Anyway, so yeah, like I think that speech when he's talking to the seven, who are I think they're like the 9 or the 10, because you have Tech Knight, Tech Knight, love that guy. You have Tech Knight, you have God, I can't remember their names now. The Guardians of Godolkin, you have them there. Um, and he basically what does he say? I wrote it down. Sorry, quickly. He says, um, sorry. You will no longer be beloved celebrities. You will be wrathful gods. And he's like,
Oh,
we're not trying to be A-listers anymore. Now we are going to rule with an iron fist. We are going to like have
run
people
shit.
under exactly. And it's like, this is what he's been leading up to. If he doesn't want the president to become president, him and the seven will go and be like, no, this is not who we're putting as president. You have to put Victoria as president. Like, this is what it's like. This has been his story this season, and then this is what happened because he couldn't do it before because like he was beholden to the public's perception. Now that he thinks he doesn't care about what they think, he can be as vicious or whatever as he wants. So yeah, I don't know. What did you guys think about the seven basically saying we're just gonna go out and
Take
be
over.
super villains?
Um, the show is starting to align way more with the comic than I
Mm.
say because it's still like totally much better, but like I'm not going to spoil it, but there's some storyline that I didn't see coming, like this whole potential, like could something similar happens to the comic. So I'm like, oh, because
Mm-hmm.
the show and the comic, like there were a lot of inspirations and like parallels, but like it was really like being its own thing. But now I'm not saying it's going to be like one to one, but like, oh, this is which is why I'm like, oh, okay, it's definitely an end game because that was like,
Mm.
yeah,
That was towards the end of the comics.
yeah. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, this is interesting. Seeing the guy go, I always feel sad anytime I see anything related to Gen V because it always makes me think of Chance. I'm like, oh man,
Yeah.
that's my favorite
Chance.
character in the show.
Mm.
and he was a whole person with his dreams and everything, and that's tragic. So I was like, oh man, I
Yeah,
really enjoyed like
Gen V.
yeah. I no,
Yeah,
I
no,
genuinely like it. Kind of like reinvigorated me because I thought Jeffy wasn't going to be um
no, we did it. We are all surprised
yeah,
by
we
how
did it.
good it
Yeah,
was.
it
Yeah.
was telling
Mhm.
it. Obviously, it was a spin off, but it seemed determined to tell its own story, not just
Hmm.
like obviously it's meant to cash in, but you get what I mean. But yeah,
Mm-mm.
back to the boys.
Yeah, and then like, it makes sense that Sam is like, when will we know? Because like, as we know from Gen V, Sam is like, we are better than them. We like, we should not, we should rule them essentially. And
Yeah.
Kate has her own thing, so like, and everybody else is afraid of him.
One
Or
time, is Kate's arm back or is it gone? I couldn't
I
tell.
was looking, but I couldn't really see a proper shot, so I don't know.
Maybe they haven't decided.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So or do decide what kind of arm they want to give her. But yeah, I mean, I think that scene is very important because like that's Homelander. Even the mask that he used to have in front of the Seven, and like he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care anymore. He's like, we are gonna do some downright terrible things, some vicious things, but like it's for the greater good because we want to have a world for our children, which is bullshit, but whatever. Um, yeah. So I found that scene, and obviously we should say that Cameron is framed for a trend's
Oh,
um
Paul.
duplicity.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah.
man, that's not a
Well,
fun way to go.
it's not fun. So, well, I wish he's dead. I mean, I assume they want to kill him, but like they could just keep him as a touch-up pet. But yeah, yeah,
He's
it's gonna
gone,
be.
bro.
It's
He's
gonna.
he's finito.
God, imagine like seven super people just beating
He's
you to
gone.
death.
7 regular people beating up on you can lead to death. 7 people with super strength.
It's too
I
much,
hope
man.
he went out quickly.
He did not. He did not
No, I
go out
mean
quickly.
relatively. I mean relatively. Like
Oh my god. And then the deep is gonna fuck his wife. So it only gets worse. Okay. I have some of my favorite lines from the episode, unless you guys have anything else you want to share.
all right, go no no go.
Oh, quickly on that scene. So Tech and Sage clearly know something. Obviously, Tech is very smart himself. Like we know from Gen V that he's a very good detective. So, but they were sharing some secrets over a diary or something. So I guess that will come to play in later episodes. Okay. My best lines are, and just talking about VodCon, which is where they showed all the movies and everything, the V52.
Mhm.
First of all, Firecracker, Lord Soldier. I mean, okay. Like, it's just like, okay. So what did she say? I'm not strong enough to defeat all the sinners or something like that. And I was like, it's like, okay, let's go. My best joke of the season is when they're doing the Training A Train trailer,
Mhm.
and it goes a story about a hero and the boy he taught to run. And I was like, oh my god, you guys actually made Will Ferrell's character the main character of this film. like like
Yeah.
this film about A-Train, the black superhero, is really about the person that taught him how to. I was like, oh wow, this is so blind. I was like, this is so on brand for like the Blind Side and any other
Yeah.
white savior movie. I was like, wow, what a
Yeah, but
what
this
a
is not
great joke.
this is not 2006 where stuff like that. Like obviously they won't make a movie like that, but like it was so funny. Like
I was like, oh my god. It being about Will Ferrell's character was just so funny to me. Then the Deep and Cameron come out and they're like, vote, and then the Deep says, vote proudly supports and amplifies BIPOC voices. Isn't that right, Cameron? And then Cameron, so basically the only black person on stage is quiet throughout, and these two guys
yeah, yeah.
are talking about how they support black voices, and I was just like, okay, fair enough. And then what does Cameron say? Sure is deep. What they say? This is why these articulate heroes, and I was like, I was like, okay, fair enough, Kripke. Um, Homelander to Ryan, it's like being a slave, only worse.
He was also like, "We are both emancipated from
From
slavery. We're free."
slavery.
I was like, Homelander is literally insane.
He
Like,
is.
so
Anthony Starr's delivery. Oh my
disconnected
god! I was
from.
like, he's not even joking. Like he's said he's like that's what he's serious. This is worse than
The
slavery.
the um the range that Anthony Starr actually shows as Homelander is so
It's so good.
it's actually so impressive. I think I've gotten kind of used to it after the
Mm-hmm.
first two seasons, but
Mm.
it's actually like super impressive how he. I don't. I don't think I've watched a scene with him and I'm like, oh, he missed. He's
Mm.
like, to be fair, that's almost every performance in the book. I think I might not like the writing,
Yeah.
but I think Annie at times might be a bit like not quite as up there with like
Who? Oh,
the
Annie. Oh, Erin
yeah,
Murray. Okay.
like she's good,
Mm.
but like Anthony Starr is like
I think Annie as a character is probably the toughest job to do because it's so easy for everyone to hit that. I don't mean like sexist or whatever.
yeah.
I mean like that character is easy to hate because just like oh whatever like
No
I
hate. I mean
want
like the highs of like I mean
no
like
no no
performance wise. Okay,
no I'm saying as a performance it's easy to hate
uh-huh.
that character because you're like I'd rather spend time with the fun people like Butcher
Okay,
and
I kind of get what you
Homelander
mean.
than spend time with Annie and it's like I think the fact that she's been able to help us even care about Annie as in generally is actually a very good job on her part because normally it's like, okay, whatever, you're sad. You have to perform. I don't care. But like, so I think this is a good performance because it's so easy to get that performance wrong. And everybody just like, oh my God, every scene she's in, it drags.
Okay.
It's
You
a
know
wet
what?
blanket.
Yes, like her character in other shows definitely would be.
100%.
Yeah,
She
so
would be so bad.
I would say that the fact that I'm mostly positive to neutral on her is a plus.
Yeah, it's a very big plus because it's so
Yeah,
easy
that's
for that to
true.
just be a
Yeah, you're
terrible
right on that.
character.
Like not terrible, but like just weirdly disliked.
Yeah, yo, yeah, 100%. And I don't even mean partly by sexism, but also just like it's almost like the Skylar thing from Breaking Bad.
Do you know that's the first thing that came to my mind? But like I didn't want to like reopen that this thing.
Yeah, I mean, first time I watched Breaking Bad, I was young. I was like, oh, Skylar's terrible. I rewatched it. I was like, Bankole, you an idiot because all she's doing is she just wants her family to be safe and not dealing drugs. Like,
I thought she was annoying, but I never thought like she was. I always thought she was
no,
reasonable.
I thought she was
That was
annoying.
always me. I always, no, I thought she was a bit annoying, but like I always thought she was reasonable. Like there was
When I rewatched it,
nothing
no, she's actually the hero of this story. There's nothing.
like
She does one bad thing and that's cheat, and that is
that because she also
incomparable
thought
to what.
she
Yeah,
thought what
exactly.
was initially cheating. That's why she like because like his secret double like she was trying
Yeah.
to get her leg back, not knowing.
Anyway, but yeah, so it's very easy for this character on a different show to just not be good.
Yeah,
Cameron tells Ashley, "I need a dom who's dominating." It's like, okay, fair enough. I was like, I can't believe how. Imagine your work, like your work was following you back home.
yeah.
That's so peak, man.
He was looking for someone to match his free career, and unfortunately, she no longer did.
She lost her
But
power.
Ashley is way too freaky for me. Like I remember um the charm of the boy has nothing. Everything about the boy feels icky.
Uh-huh. Oh,
Yes,
nothing seemed like we said. Nothing seems romantic
yes.
or like
Around
sexy
the
or like.
balance is you flinch a bit at times, or like
Uh-huh.
it's made to feel like sometimes it's satisfying, but like sometimes it's like it's meant to like visceral, make you like vomit a
Mm.
bit. The
Mm-hmm,
sex scenes
mm-hmm.
are the same way. Like I remember when she thought like the deep was going to blow A train, and like I was like, this Ashley babe needs to get out of my screen.
Her
Her eyes
face.
were just like she
She was like, oh, let me see.
was like, "Let me sit up for this shit. Let's go."
Okay. I also have this man is in no condition to fuck a ship, like
Mm.
Chiagoziem said, which
That
is
was,
just like French's delivery of that is just like this actors just know this character so well because like he delivers that in a way that he genuinely believes that was the
they're
plan.
they're also
Mhm.
comfortable.
Yeah,
They're
they're also
also like
comfortable with these characters. Okay,
now.
this one is might be like a niche thing, but I found it so funny. So Tech Knight comes to talk about the reboot of his movie that has been out for a year. Um, and he says the name of the movie is called The Tech Knight. And it says the Tech Knight with its soundtrack of Nirvana hits, which is clearly like a reference to Batman films, the Batman, Matt Reeves' the Batman. And it's like with the 12-minute sequence that's entirely pitch black. And I was like,
Mm.
that is for me and for like five other people. But I was like, thank
They'll
you.
get the joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they're
was like, thank you. That joke is just made for me. And then ending the episode with an old McDonald needle drop is so funny. After like old McDonald had a farm. After what we've
yeah.
just seen,
He's in
I
farm.
was like, fair enough, man. You guys
Yeah.
are cooking.
No,
This was my funniest episode of this season.
I was like, damn, they can't really afford Stan Edgar this season unless they're showing. Sorry, what's his name? Um, Giancarlo. Because I was
mhm.
like, oh, just one episode
No, no, but
already.
like I think with Newman saving him now.
No,
Hmm.
I feel like I feel like he's. I felt like the way it was done. How are they going to bring him out again? I feel like
No, but like remember when he's
he's
driving
down
off,
for the season.
Newman pops off his driver's
I,
head.
I think this is saving him for like later down. I don't think he's coming back.
It didn't come out this season.
I don't think he's
I'll
coming
be
back this
surprised.
season.
We'll see. We'll see. I
He's going
think,
to be scheming. He's going to be
yeah.
scheming somewhere in the shadows.
hmm
But
Depends.
yeah,
Um,
it's a good season. I would say the
yeah,
show is season 2 is still like I think between season 1 and 3 are still probably my
yeah.
top seasons. But
Season three for you. Season three is a hype season for you, and that's
yeah,
fair.
I've
That's
always
fair.
said
Like you can't not be hyped with Soldier. But like when Jason Ackles was saying some of the things he was saying, you cannot be hyped. But like this is clearly a season that
it's building up to next season.
Is the
yes,
last
and also
season, yeah.
has with the whole Homelander January 16, he also has like bigger ideas on his head. So that's a lot less than having Hero Gazim and like that. That's not as hype, but it's maybe more intellectual. Not in of like, and that would be hit and miss. That's more hit and miss than just having straight up 8 episodes of just pure carnage, which was great and it's fun. And I'm not criticizing season three; it's still probably my best season of the show as well. But like, it's like this season, if they're trying to do more intellectual things, quote unquote, it's a high, it to be slower. It's a higher chance that things will maybe be hit and miss for some people. So I get it. I get it. I'm enjoying it. Again, it depends on how it lands because this season has to land in a way that makes the season satisfactory, but also gives us a good idea of what the end game is looking like. If that makes not obviously not plot for plot, but like you have to make this season worthwhile and also tell us, okay, next season's the final season. What are we doing? What are the final teams? Things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, any final thoughts? Anything you guys want to share that we haven't discussed? Any lines?
No. Interested where everything goes for everyone at this point. Like where
hmm
everybody's going to end up now.
Yeah, I mean French is in
Um.
jail, but he's in CIA. CIA can clearly take that off anytime
They.
they want to.
Yeah.
I'm not that worried for him.
Uh. Guess it's who it's time to finally lock in, but
Hmm.
um. I knew who to lock in because last season Hughie was like, I don't know what's up
Yeah,
with
but he
Hughie last
almost killed
season.
him.
Still, I was genuinely impressed by his gut. Like to be fair, Hughie
Yeah,
has always been like weirdly brave considering he's like
has no
because
powers.
Not a suit.
Who or training like Hughie is like he gets his own back in blood literally at times. I would call it a day, and
After the second time somebody's gut is on my face, I'm like,
I'm
you
a
know what?
stubborn
I'm
sore
going
loser,
to,
and like
yeah, I'm just going to go to a farm and just chill. I'm sorry, I can't
who
help
in
you
his
here.
own way is very like very driven and
hmm
like so like I want to see him like i- time to be the moral compass of the show. I kind of want to see him and Butcher spend more time together again, but
Well,
I guess
considering
now
Butcher is going full villain now,
yeah,
that
but
seems
like
unlikely.
I did kind of like how I really enjoyed like the whole like big brother little brother dynamic they had going on. It was
Mm.
very like endearing to me, but like I need so over Butcher and
She's so
like
over Butcher. Like,
he's not
she's not.
he's not going to fight his girlfriend over it. I think that might be
Um,
Yeah.
at the back of their heads as they're writing it. MM2, yeah,
and again, it's just stressed, man. Is Fat Joe black?
no, he's Fajo is Puerto Rican or Dominican. He's from New York though, so some things they say, but that's just an aside.
Yeah, no, 'cause obviously we know he says what he says, but because obviously I thought only wore black artists on his shirt, but he had Fat Joe this episode, so maybe he just has hip hop artists in general.
Probably hip hop.
Yeah, because you know his shirts are always hip hop artists and everything.
I didn't
Um,
notice that.
oh yeah, quick Easter egg for anyone next episode check. I think this episode I think he had Run DMC, Fat Joe, or someone else, or maybe that was last episode. I can't remember. Okay, is that it?
Yeah, I
Are
guess
we?
that's it.
When does A-Train die, or does A-Train not die? That'll be
No, A
quite
Train
this
is gonna
twist.
die. I don't think we'll end the season with him.
With Adrian alive. Yeah, they said there were two black
Mm.
members, and I was like, ah, that's not gonna last long.
Adrian either dies or runs off into the sunset.
Yeah. But he has so
I
much
think
to
they've given
do.
us two fake outs with his death. So I'm kind of confused. Like third time's the charm. Does he like die for real this time?
Hmm.
I think he will, because he's one that gave them the tapes now, and I
Yeah,
feel like
and
But
Sage
there's
is
no
gonna
way
find
Sage
out.
doesn't know. There's no way
I think
Sage
Sage
doesn't
is
know.
gonna.
yeah, and but the way his powers also work is that he's the best to escape. I think he's even faster than Homelander.
Mm.
Yeah, but if Homelander wants to find him, like, is
Oh no, if
Adrian
Homelander was
is it gonna
yeah,
run forever? Eh, like, also, we saw Omni Man kill, what do you call him, Scarlet, whatever, in
Mm.
Invincible. So
A-Train is
like,
not just A-Train is brave now. He's not that
yeah.
brave.
Okay, so you think he's not gonna attack Homelander, just gonna run away?
He's shitting his pants all
That's
like
fair. That's fair.
A-Train has grown a conscience. He's not super heroic yet, but he
Yeah,
actually has a
Mm.
conscience.
he's still looking out for himself.
He's not on that Hughie P where Hughie can like in a fit of would buck people who clearly shouldn't
Hmm.
be bucking to like
Hmm.
A-Train still. I mean, he almost allowed the deep blow him earlier this season. Like he's still quite like he still quite likes his life. He he'll take risks for others
But
at
only
the
if
risk
the
of
risks are like,
himself, but
yeah.
he can still like calculate a way out for himself. Still like much braver and like
Mm.
actually growing your conscience. But I think he that runs off to something until he dies. I'm kind of 50-50. I think because of his like nephews and stuff, I kind of just want to see them like go off into the sunset and like
Mm.
forget
Mm.
about A
But
Train.
he has a lot to do to like prove himself to his brother. So that'll be,
Yeah.
because you wouldn't want to just run off to the center without doing that. Also, it's interesting to see what happens in the next three, which is five, yeah, next three episodes. I think Ostegale will join us for next week's episode, so that should be a fun discussion. Um, okay, are we good there? I need to
Yep. Yep.
cleanse my brain from all the God. The moment the sheep came and took that bull up, you guys understand how much I already hate animals. This might be my worst nightmare. If like animals just had it's unnecessary. I do not want
Yeah. It was
yeah
very creepy.
V dub animals.
V-dub animals. The chicken. The chicken should not be a problem logically, but just like those chicken, like, oh no, 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 no. Yeah, that was too much for me.
Yeah, that
Okay,
was a
Also,
lot.
yeah.
hmm,
What are you gonna say?
I was surprised that the initial plan didn't like involve. Okay, they tried to involve Newman, but they were like because of ability to control blood and blow up things. I was wondering why, but
Why what? Why she wasn't in the plan?
they didn't lean into how much to kill the animals.
Mm.
Oh,
Because
I
she
think
killed
she
one
did,
that
but
was
like,
about to attack.
so I
But
don't think Newman can. She can't pop more than one at a time, can she?
But she did an entire core scene really
Yeah,
effectively.
but was it at once? Though was it? Was it just like
It
one after
was
the
really
other?
quick. It was really quick.
It was really
yeah,
quick.
so she
Yeah,
can do. She could have just been looking pop, 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 pop.
I don't think she needs to look the way things were happening in this episode, because this guy was
Mm.
getting nosebleeds before she even came down.
Yeah, she's like,
Mm.
if you watch her from the earlier seasons, like I thought she was like after like maybe Homelander, Soldier Boy, she's probably the most dangerous soup.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Maybe Sage too, because of
But to
like
be
her
fair,
brain
I think,
thing.
I think Atrian could probably kill her before she popped Atrian's
No,
head,
yeah, I
just
agree, but
because of
like
speed. Um,
yeah, but Newman is just especially now that how
yeah,
invulnerability
she's invulnerable.
very
Yeah,
tough. Like
yeah, she's looking fine. Sorry, intrusive thoughts. Okay, let's end the episode there.
Thank you, thank you,
th-
thank you.
thank you very much for listening. Join us next week when we talk about episode 6 of The Boys. In the meantime, please check out our other episodes on House of the Dragon season 2. The war is
Hmm.
beginning. Blood and cheese. Um, The Bear. We'll be talking about that over the next week, 2 or 3
yeah,
episodes. Bridgerton episode is out on that as well. Yeah.
Bridgerton.
So Inside Out to summer movie season.
Mm.
Okay, thank you very much for listening. And join us next week, and we'll be joined by the one, the only Oscar winner, BAFTA winner, Daniel Kaluuya. Bye, guys.
Bye, hotties.
have a
Bye.
great week. We'll see you next week.
We will.
Not me though.